Adam.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Adam, and today our group will be presenting regarding the topic of regional diplomacy. Next. So this is the abstract. The gist of the abstract is we believe that regional diplomacy is one way cornerstone in determining state relation. So with the rise of conflict made the state rely upon each other, that the factors of geopolitics and economics has been made state actors to approach in a regional diplomatic manner. Thank you. This is the outline. We'll go with introduction first. Second one is significance of regional diplomacy. The third one, challenges in regional diplomacy, discussion, and conclusion. Thank you.
Alright, for introduction, historically, there are many countries begin with the Europe started because of the dispute of overlapping power. Since 1970, all these ministries are gathered together for creating a continuous foreign affairs had slowly spread from Europe towards Eastern and also Asia and lastly all around the world. And yeah, we want to examine which changes they had gone through and how they are responding to the pressure from their domestic and international environment. Next, this is how to determine the utility of regional diplomacy in contemporary world. And for your information, is started by the bilateral agreement and it is conducted to the mutual idea dialogues in gaining a bilateral cooperation between the states. And the first thing first, we have to know the right definition for regional diplomacy. That's regards to the negotiation between one parties to another parties by political decision and geographic convention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wani, for the explanation for introduction. Hi, I'm Hazira. So I'll explain regarding I'll tell you first, our main research question is to identify the role of regional diplomacy in international relation. So my subtopic is to explain regarding the significance of, next slide, significance of regional diplomacy. So as we know, the presence of regional actors is taking as a whole as a vibrant subject in social policy making, is either in political, economy, culture, and social. Next. The first one is regional security diplomacy. It is an important issue as the non-traditional challenges has arise in globalization and interdependence international relation. So next is preventive diplomacy. So preventive diplomacy is also an important part of diplomacy. As you can see, the practice in the ASEAN Regional Forum or the principle of non-interference in the ASEAN, which is it would prevent the dispute and conflicts that would cause threat to regional peace and stability. Next is cultural diplomacy, also known as the soft power. According to Prof. Joseph S9, defined that the ability to convince by using the culture, ideas, and idea, which is the culture, as opposed to hard power, which is dominated and manipulated by military force. So cultural diplomacy is an important at the same level as political and economic diplomacy, as it helps to promote the good image among the region. And the last one is economic diplomacy. It is a critical element of diplomatic strategy, as it will result from market development process that would give a negotiation to achieve a low carbon economy, negotiation of intellectual property rights, and e-commerce agreements, and so on. And the last one is that for this segment, the significance of regional diplomacy can be seen from many forms, either in security, economy, and even cultural aspects. So the emergence of regional diplomacy does not only help the state to pursue the national goal alone, but also balance the order at international level. Thank you.
Salman.
Now I will elaborate more regarding the regional diplomacy challenges, which is on this presentation I will explain about ASEAN. Actually there are several challenges faced by ASEAN, which is first in terms of ASEAN enlargement, second economic development, and lastly in terms of security challenge. So on this particular presentation, I will elaborate more regarding the security challenges. which is the existence of China as one of the great power to the world economy actually is a serious threat and challenges to ASEAN until today. For example, in their decision to conduct missile test firing on the area of Taiwan coast give a big security threat to ASEAN. Due to the incident, we can see that United States respond by dispatch of 2 carrier battle groups into the area that eventually is a really give a potentially dangerous for security in East Asia and also ASEAN region. And in the case of China policy in the South China Sea, which I believe we already know about it, also give really big economic challenge to ASEAN. So that is from me.
So next we're going to talk about discussion and analysis of our finding in this research paper, and I will try to explain the meaning of the finding and why they are important. So first in our significance of regional policy diplomacy, we can see that the study demonstrate that regional diplomacy can be more effectively in a form of regional intergovernmental organizations, such as in this paper we give example for ASEAN. And actually in regional diplomacy like ASEAN, they have their own system like hierarchical and legal framework and even cultural norms or popularized as ASEAN way. So they have their own system in manage diplomacy or diplomatic issues. So this finding said that it in line with liberal institutionalism theory, which is IR scholars say that in liberal institutionalisms, say that if we want to make peace and we want to prevent war, we need to institutionalize our diplomatic relationships. So in regional diplomacy, we can say that it will be more effective if we form regional intergovernmental organizations such as like ASEAN. So moreover, even we have a lot of significance of regional diplomacy, we also have challenges and adversity, like Salman said, um, because we will find difficulty to create common intention and decisions, especially regarding South China Sea, where ASEAN states have divided intention or decision regarding China action or policies. Like Philippines and Myanmar, they are supporting China policies, but state like Malaysia and Indonesia are not willing China intervention in South China Sea. So it will in regional diplomacy when we have lot of attention or divided decision, so it will we will find difficulties in create a common ground in facing any issues. So next we're going to conclude. Zuhai?
As for the conclusion, in this paper it's already stated the definition and historical background of regional diplomacy. It is crucial to trace back the origin of regional diplomacy so that the effectiveness of this conduct can be measured. As number of regional organizations increases, the method of regional diplomacy is also increases. This marks the notably effectiveness of this tool in order to gain something and create win-win situation, especially in politics. Next. As stated in the paper, regional diplomacy carries a lot of interest rather than just a theory. It can be portrayed in many forms, either in security, cultural, and economic aspect. It will also be mentioned that the challenges or ineffectiveness is also being faced in using the tool of regional diplomacy. Although one country may come from some same region, its political spectrum is yet to be seen. As for the conclusion, we believe that the regional diplomacy is the most effective tool among other conduct of diplomacy. As the regional organization is increasing, the uses of regional diplomacy is also increasing, and this show the effectiveness role played by it. For years to come, nation will choose the most effective way to fulfill their interests, and as a good leader of every nation, it is crystal clear the regional diplomacy is the good approach. That's all from our team. Have a good day.